Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, I got a question for you. Have you ever noticed that some people, any small entrepreneurs, some people just knock it out of the park and they get referrals for others, while others just kind of don't, right? They miss the mark, right? So those veteran agents, quote unquote veteran agents, some of them that we see anyways, they get 5 years and people still call them, friends refer them, other family members refer them, business just keeps showing up. It's just easy for them to get the referrals, while others are working hard. They do a great job, close transactions, but they never seem to get a referral, right? It seems to be a challenge that we see in here, and the question has always been why. Like, why does some nail it? Do some others? Are some people just better at getting referrals? Like, is it a natural built skill? Is it because they're a better agent? They have more experience, better negotiators? I don't think so. I don't think that's where the answer sits. I think the answer sits in how that relationship was built, or if really, to be honest with you, is built. In the world of the internet today, one of the big challenges that I seem to find in here is that um it's harder to build that one-to-one, that unique relationship with our clients, with our customers, with our friends. It's harder and harder to do. Technology was supposed to bring us together, but it doesn't always seem to be that way. Um, and the relationship is so critically important for everything that we do, but most specifically for that relationship, for that referral business, for that forever business that we build. I hope that we kinda can see that. So, the reason I'm bringing this up today is I kinda got reminded of this last week. I got some time to spend in DC. I was at a realtor event, and the the stuff was great. Like, the events and the items I learned were amazing. I thought they were extremely valuable to have. But it was more than that. I was just thinking about this flying home yesterday, and one of the things I realized was the relationships I have built in the past, how I've built those, why they are so important today. And it came to me one day. We were sitting in a Starbucks line, and I knew a couple of I knew a lot of the people, but I knew a couple of the people in there, and we started talking. Well, I was talking to one, we've worked together, we've done things, and I got introduced to a person that they knew, and that person needs help in certain industries. So we were talking through the whole long Starbucks line. By the way, best way to kill a long Starbucks line is to have someone to talk to. And we talked. We talked about what I did, what they did, where their struggles are, where my struggles are. But really, in the end, it came out the opportunity because I met one person, and I have formed that relationship. I got introduced to this next person that is gonna form that next relationship and probably will be business. And it was really kind of just a real good reminder in place. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having fun here. If you have questions, let me know. If not, just participate any way you want. Tell me where you're from, best referral technique you have. And it just reminded me of the one real thing that I think is important. Referral business is never a one-to-one game. Like, a lot of us, we look for that referral saying, okay, or we're looking for the business rather, not the referral side. We're looking for the business. Like, I form all these relationships, I need that transaction. Well, business is never one-to-one. It's a one-to-many game, right? And we can know so many, but if other people know equally as many, if not more, we have an exponential growth. So the more people we get in front of, the more people that we are talking to on a day-to-day basis, the better opportunity we have to find business. And for referrals specifically, it is going to be huge for us, right? Because if we know one, we know have a family member, a friend, a coworker, whoever, community leaders that we have formed that real strong relationship with, they know all the other people and they'll refer you as long as you built that relationship. Hi, hi, Dirty Harry. Um, so I I just want us to remember that building onto this is hugely important. And one relationship can turn into dozens before you know it, hundreds, and then probably even thousands. And sometimes it requires patience. Sometimes it requires a little bit of extra thinking about how we do stuff, but it becomes critically important for us. So, a couple of things I want us to think about when we're talking about referrals specifically for this. One, most of us think of referrals as a transactional business. Like I watch so many people come in, well, and also business. So we're going to talk about 2 points in 1A and 1B in here. But I watch so many people walk into quote unquote networking events. And all they want to do is hand out those business cards. And don't get me wrong, there's value to that. There is definitely in there, but you're just forming a transaction. You're not forming that relationship, that bond that needs to be necessary when you are doing any kind of networking event, right? If you're not asking key questions, you're not bringing in that conversation and they're not going to remember you, you are going to be what I call the back pocket business card person because they grab it, they put it in the back pocket. Next thing you know, the jeans go in the wash. That card is destroyed. They have no reason to reach out to you. It's the next time they see it, it's the next networking event. But if we start forming relationships, we're going to talk about that next. That becomes more beneficial, much stronger in our life to do. Hi, Lionel. LHE dancers, how you guys doing? Hi, Yennery. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hope you guys are doing. Tell me some of your best techniques for building business. Um, and the other part, the 1B for transactions for a lot of us is we just focus on doing a really good job for our business, right? Which is huge. We sit there and we want to make sure all our contracts, our deadlines, our negotiations, all that inspections, closings, all that stuff is done. And it's great, right? You do a great job, but what are we, what makes you rememberable? What makes you want to be referable? What makes you that key person? And that's where it becomes an item to play. So when that closing's done, when the transaction's done, the relationship often ends many times. And not that anything bad happened. It's just something, it's just not that moment. So I'm going to tell you the next part to think about here is people don't really refer agents. They do by name, right? Hopefully they refer who you are, how it's going in there. But also they're referring that story, that emotion, what they remembered about that transaction, how they felt. That's the energy you're trying to get through. So when I'm always answering the phone, even when they panicked or they checked on us all the time, or they saw the story, or, I've got a new great person, someone that I can rely on, quote unquote, a friend in the business, it becomes easier to do it. Stories get repeated, events do not. And once you have those stories, those repeated stories create referrals. So that story, that emotion, that energy is one of those key points that you want to make sure that you're focusing on. And going to that, agents with those stories create moments. Um, it's not always about those gifts. It's not always about uh, all the big events that are out there or a huge marketing budget. And don't get me wrong, all of them work. By the way, anything that you do in real estate or any business consistently will draw you business, will draw you referrals. But I'm going to tell you from my experience, what really works more is when you remember a story they told you and related back and asked a question, the kid's birthday, something out there, a handwritten note, checking in 6 months later, just checking on them, asking about the new job they got, calling just because, right? You're driving the car. A lot of us, we have a lot of windshield time. We can sit there and come out and make sure that's in place. Um, those quote unquote little moments have huge impact. And when you change their life, they will remember you forever. Because again, it's about that moment. Also, please, next point, be authentic. This isn't about, okay, I've got to do all these things so I can grow the business and I can make this happen. It's about being you, right? So if you are just more business in nature, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not telling you to soften yourself. What I'm telling you is you just got to be able to focus a little bit on building the relationship, because even as a business person, we have relationships all the time. We work with people, we do all sorts of things in place. And it really, again, got re-referenced for me back in DC when we were talking about this, because all the people I talked to, I'm like, oh yeah, I was talking to them. I did this, I did that. And people kept going, oh yeah, we got to talk. Oh yeah, we got to talk about this. Who do you know does this? Right. But it's just because we're there, we're hanging out, we're doing things in a much more casual environment, and it works much better. I'm not looking for that big impact. I'm looking for that long-term relationship. So when you're networking, when you're talking to clients, when you're attending events, be who you are and understand what's going on. And don't think, what can I get from them? Think, how can I build a real relationship? Who are they? What do I want to know? What do you want them to know about you? Not from I kill it in XYZ business, but what is going on in place. Authenticity always scales, trust scales, relationship scales. Transactions are a moment in time. So the last point here is, the agents who get referral for years understand one thing: every conversation matters. They take it they take it intentionally. They take it for use. They take it for a lot of key moments in time, because it isn't about the person in front of them. It is about them. But remember, every person you talk to knows so many more people, and you build that moment, that event, that energy, that emotion, they're going to remember you for life. And hopefully you will remember them for life. And I don't want you to think about this as a one-to-one transaction. It's always a one-to-many. You got one client, one introduction, one conversation. They will lead to many more moments down the road. It doesn't happen overnight. Most of the things we do in our world does not happen overnight. It happens in stages. It does take time. It does take that energy. But if you start focusing today on your client, on those moments, on those events, and on those energies, you will have referral business for a long, long time. So if there's one thing that you took away from this, put in the comment box. Hopefully this worked for you guys. Appreciate you all staying around. These are always just quick little hitters. Stop treating relationships like transactions. Stop treating start treating the relationships like they're investments. Tell me your best referral strategy. Tell me if you got good things out there. If you are trying to even try to automate some of that referral stuff. I'm not a real big fan of that yet, because I think this is personalizations. But be authentic, be memorable, and stay connected. I hope this helps. Tell me what you've done. Tell me what you liked about this. And if this resonated with you, please, whatever platform you're watching this on, subscribe, hit the bell button, whatever those are. Share this with people that you think may need some help in this world on this one. And we will see you at the next one.